Welcome back, my magical star beings. In today's reading, we're going to be taking a look at what they think to themselves after observing you. Each pile is going to be split into two halves. The one part we're going to take a look at their observations, then in the other part we're going to take a look at their thoughts. So in terms of your pile selection, you can either choose the pile you're most drawn to, or you can choose the pile based off your or their zodiac, which is in the thumbnail. So for pile 1, we have Malachite with 3 of Pentacles. For pile 2, we have Black Tourmaline with the 2 of Swords. And for pile 3, we have Rose Quartz with the 5 of Cups. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to pick a pile. Once you're done picking a pile, the timestamps are in the description box below. If you want to support the channel by watching the censored segments of the reading, it is going to show up in a few seconds. Then I will see you at your reading. I'll try to be as accurate as I can, but it is a bit tricky when reading for the collective. If you want something more personal, you can always check in with the psychic for a more in-depth description. Speaking of which, I tried a clairvoyant from Psychic Source, and yes, they're sponsoring today's video. Thank you, Psychic Source. I got matched with a clairvoyant through their site, and honestly, I wasn't expecting her to be that accurate. I gave her no personal info, just asked about my future love life, and somehow she instantly picked up that I'm already in a relationship. She literally said, "Why are you asking about the future without mentioning him?" I was literally speechless, but then I remembered that's kind of what I do too. Still a shocking experience to be on the receiving end of it. She described my future partner as someone who makes me really happy, with great communication and a bond that can handle anything. But the part that really stuck with me, she said she saw my future husband giving me purple flowers. A few weeks later, nothing happened, so I kind of forgot about it. Then we saw a tattoo promo on Instagram. My boyfriend sent me his ideas so I can book, and boom, a purple flower. Not a bouquet, but I'm definitely taking that as a sign. You can chat with gifted advisors however you're most comfortable, phone, video, or even text. Setting up my account on their website was super easy, and they have this quick little quiz that helps you find a psychic based on what you're looking for, whether it's love, past lives, energy readings, whatever. It made the whole process really personal and intentional. What sets them apart is the level of care and integrity. Only 2% of their applicants actually become advisors, so you know you're speaking to someone who's truly gifted and held to high ethical standards. And they back everything up with a no-risk guarantee. If you're not happy with your last paid reading, it's free. For a limited time, you can use my code Siren at psychicsource.com when checking out, or you can just click the link in my description box below at trypsychicsource.com/siren. You'll get up to 40 minutes with an advisor for just $19.80. That's up to a $240 value. You don't have to use it all in one session. You can spread those minutes out across multiple advisors to see who you truly resonate with. They also donate 1% of your purchase to charity at no extra cost to you. Oh, and yes, I do get paid for this promo, so when you sign up with Psychic Source, you're feeding a perpetually hungry, slightly dramatic psychic, that'd be me, and funding my next impulsive crystal purchase. As you can see, the channel needs some new crystals. But that's all for now. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. Pile 1, you chose the Malachite crystal and the 3 of Pentacles. We're going to be taking a look at what they think to themselves after observing you. So if you didn't see the intro, the first half is going to be about their observations, second half of the reading, their thoughts. So spirit guides of pile number 1, please tap me into the energy of the person on pile 1's mind. 2 of Pentacles. Please show me, what have they observed about pile number 1? What have they observed about pile number 1? The High Priestess. the Queen of Cups, and the Ten of Swords. So immediately I'm getting this imagery of a heart that's in a cage. So there's this like lack of freedom here. Either to love who you want to love, or maybe there's this feeling here of you being a deeply sensitive person, and maybe you like don't show that to people completely. Or I could read this as maybe you're that type of person that almost feels wounded by your own sensitivity in your own heart, feeling like you love too much where it puts you in the stuck place. And it makes sense because we have the Queen of Cups next to the Ten of Swords. The Queen of Cups can typically represent a very compassionate, empathetic, and nurturing person. But with the Ten of Swords next to it, it's kind of like it's brought you a lot of pain. And I don't think it's a result of you having a big heart that's brought you pain. But I think they've kind of observed that it's from maybe loving the wrong people, or being put into hurtful situations that just almost leave you feeling like there's no hope in love, I guess. Like devastated is the word I'm hearing. Maybe some of you have experienced toxic love, where it felt deep but toxic at the same time. It felt like one part of you, your heart was being set on fire, but another part of you like needed their love in some way, even though you knew it wasn't good for you or healthy. It's kind of like you drowned within the love, but found comfort within the depth, even though you were drowning. That's kind of the metaphor I'm getting. Maybe you made excuses for those you loved. What they have noticed is that you're trying to find an empowered state in which you can have self-love, still have that depth and that comfort, but find people with maybe pure intentions towards you that aren't going to kind of like contaminate the love with their toxicity. So I see them looking at you, trying to heal, trying to look inward. Maybe at one point developing certain coping mechanisms that helped you at the time, but no longer are healthy for you anymore. And just trying to pour back into you, find self-love, realize your own worth. Some of you feel the emotions of others so strongly that it almost feels disempowering. So what I'm getting here is like someone that is so empathic that it feels exhausting being around people and dealing with people because people are always dumping their traumas on you. And the thing is, you're helpful, you're showing compassion and empathy, and a lot of people feel safe and comfortable in your presence, but some people don't get that that can also be exhausting for you to carry. I see you carrying the weight of everybody else's emotions around you, where your hands are full that you don't even have time to focus on your own emotions. The High Priestess here tells me that some of these observations are not from what they've physically seen, but from gut feelings. Maybe dreams, signs, synchronicities, where they've kind of like analyzed and observed what it meant to them. Whether they're spiritual, intuitive or not, this is what I see, though I do see that they doubt what's coming through. They kind of question it and doubt it and feel like, what if I'm just like wrong about this? They've observed your beauty, both physical and inner beauty. There's something about them liking your skin tone. I see a lot of people that have like more of a tan to darker complexion in this pile. But even if you don't, that's okay. There's something about them liking the way your skin looks, your skin tone. They like when you wear like tops that kind of, or dresses that kind of show your shoulders, like off the shoulder tops dresses. They also think your skin looks very glowy and moisturized. And they've kind of observed the way you walk, especially if you're a woman and you move your hips when you walk. But even if you're a man, there's just something about the way you walk that they've observed or noticed. They've also observed or noticed your hair. They like your hair, as well as your eyebrows and kind of like the facial expressions you make. The High Priestess also tells me that they've observed secrets of yours or things you would want to keep hidden, but I don't think they did it purposefully or intentionally. It's kind of like what Spirit is showing me is someone I watched a while ago. I forgot her name, but I saw her on TikTok and people were saying that they love the way she talks. She has like this whimsical nature. And she's talking about how when a person like looks at you, they can observe your secrets just from maybe the way you act, the way you talk, and you're giving so much away about yourself. Maybe I'm not saying it in the exact way she did, because I don't remember everything she said. But it was something along those lines. That's what I'm seeing in my mind's eye as I'm trying to like ask Spirit how they've kind of figured out your secrets. Though with that secretiveness, they may have picked up on the fact that you're very mysterious or private. And I see them kind of like wanting to see you, the real you behind what you show to the world. They've observed the fact that you're cool, unique, but the fact that you also have stability. You seem to match their energy well, and you seem to have some kind of nice taste in fashion. You also seem to be really busy all the time. Maybe you have a lot of responsibilities or a lot to do in your schedule. Every single day, you're focused on your growth. You're focused on how you can improve your stability or get to your goals. And maybe you're more ready to take risks to actually get to your goal or to take the steps to make it a reality. You are a dreamer, but you're also taking control of your own life. There's something about not feeling as close to our family, but creating other connections that feel like family to us, more than the actual people in our family. They think that you should show off more, like you have a lot to show off to the world. Not just your beauty, but also maybe achievements of yours, where you're at the moment. You're kind of just very humble and you don't show off, but they think that you should show off more and embrace your beauty more physically, in the sense of using pretty privilege to your advantage. But overall, they've observed that you're just this very heart-centered person. So, their thoughts about this, what do they think to themselves after observing pile number 1? We have the Strength card reverse, the Emperor, the Fool, the Ace of Swords, and the Empress. So there's strength and vulnerability, is what I'm hearing from Strength reverse. They think that anybody would be lucky to have you as a friend, partner, and that you don't realize what those that have lost you are missing out on. Like, you didn't lose anybody. In fact, like, anybody that would have you in their life is lucky. They think to themselves that they would like to see your depth and that they would feel lucky to receive the same type of love or compassion you've given to others. But they also think that you should be a little bit more cutthroat with your boundaries and a little bit louder with your no and with what you will not accept. That you don't have to be dominant with it, but you can show a little bit of dominance to make sure people know they can't mess with you. Because they think you're very soft and nurturing and loving, but sometimes people, sneaky people that don't have integrity, would see that as a weakness, would see that as like, oh, this person won't be aware of like me doing my usual tactics on them. Like I'm seeing Seven of Swords energy where a person is almost like sneaky and using that to their advantage. So it's almost like they think you should protect yourself and not let people think they even have a chance to mess with you. They think that you've dealt with situations of drama very elegantly and classily. I don't think that's a word, but okay. It's how it's coming through for me. They think that they would be very protective over you when it comes to other people, whether they're close to you or not. They would want to kind of like protect you. And they kind of feel like you guys would like be perfect together, whether that's romantic, friendship. They just think like you guys would bring out the best within each other. They think that you're very compassionate towards other people, but other people have told you that the world moves on when you talk about your pain. It's like you've been there for other people, you've shown other people compassion, but other people can't stop and do the same for you when you're going through it, which angers them. For some reason, I'm seeing Beauty and the Beast in my mind's eye. They think that they want to see you be free and not be tied down by the things we previously mentioned at the beginning, where it's like I mentioned that thing of your heart being in a cage. They want to see you feeling free and feeling empowered within your loving nature. They think that they want to understand you more and that they want to make you feel seen and hold space for your broken heart or for your hurt and pain. I'm hearing they don't want to come off as obnoxious. I don't know what that means. It's almost like they want to make you feel safe and seen in some way, like comforted in some way. They want you to know that they're there for you whenever you need them. No matter how much of like work it would take or effort it would take to be helpful or do something for you, it's not a burden to them. It kind of just feels like they want to pour into you and see you thrive. They genuinely want the best for you. That's what I see in their thoughts. And they do see you growing. They notice your growth and they're very proud of you. They almost just see you as adorable in some way. They're often thinking about things they can do for you that will show they care. Like being thoughtful, doing little gestures or things for you or favors for you or being helpful so that you see how much they care, how much they observe. And that's coming from a place of love because even if you're not close to this person, it just feels like they care about you in some way. Because I don't see them observing everybody. So if they observed you, that just shows that they do care for them. They're thinking about who you will become in the future. They're wondering that. They have an idea of like who you could grow into, your potential. They're not exactly like putting too much focus on that because they don't want to like make it seem like you have to be a certain way. Because you could also exceed their expectations, you know what I mean? I see them tracking your progress, not in a weird way, but in a way of almost like, I care about you, so I'm noticing how you're growing each day. And if I kind of try to push you to be the best version of yourself, it's not because I don't like you, it's because I both love you and care for you, but I also care about the future version of you. So that's an act of love for them. And I think that's just how they are in their personality. When they care about a person, they almost like push the person to grow past their limits or perceived limits. They also want you to know that they'll never hurt you the same way you've been hurt before. I know it's easy said, but that's what I genuinely see from their intentions and thoughts. I see them wanting to be honest with you at all times and devoted to you, whether that's in a friendship or romantic setting. So that is where I'm going to leave this part of the reading. Let's now move on to zodiacs and initials. So let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. Also, if I get your zodiac or theirs or initial, let me know in the comments. I see them saying to you or thinking in their mind, give me a chance to prove to you that I can be different than what you've experienced before, Sagittarius. That they'll show you love in a different way that's meaningful to you, Libra, whether that's platonic or romantic, Cancer. I see them wanting to be soft with you. You won't even need boundaries with them because they will respect you. Not that you shouldn't set boundaries, but it's kind of like you won't even need to set a boundary or say anything because they already respect you to not take advantage of your kindness or anything like that. So Cancer, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. So I notice we have a lot of air and water here. I think with the air and water energy, what I'm getting is maybe that they're not used to your depth, but they like it. It feels like a breath of fresh air. We have the initial I, O, O again, Y, Q, E, H, and L, I, B, M, F, A, R, far. Maybe some of you have a long distance connection where you live far from each other. T, and D. So that is all I have for you. I do hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you like my readings and want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a video every week on my membership. Also, I forgot to say this in the beginning. In the first week of December, I'm going to have 10 spots open for personal readings. So if you want to book with me, you can find all my details in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 2, you chose the black tourmaline crystal and the Two of Swords. We're going to be taking a look at what they think to themselves after observing you. In the first half of the reading, we're going to be taking a look at their observations. Then in the second half, their thoughts. I just want to make a quick announcement before we start that I do have 10 spaces open for December for personal readings. So if you want to get more information, you can see all my contact details in the description box below. So, Spirit Guides of Pile 2, please tap me into the energy of the person on Pile 2's mind. Please show me what they have observed about pile number 2. What have they observed about pile 2? We have the Ten of Cups. We have the Temperance card. The Nine of Wands. And the Six of Cups reverse. Okay, so I'm hearing cool, calm, collected. There's almost this energy as well of somebody that is constantly like correcting the grammar or spelling of others. You could have a very fierce energy about you where you protect yourself and your own heart. And when challenges do arise, you like to take a step back, kind of see things from a different, higher perspective. I'm seeing the Hangman in my mind's eye, which is why I say that. You kind of try to like calm down, be patient as you allow kind of like solutions to come to the surface, or kind of like wait for things to sort itself out. Maybe you don't make rash decisions when you're in the midst of chaos, confusion, or challenge. whether it's in a relationship or personal life. You kind of just wait again for like things to sort itself out. Maybe you also take your time making decisions, ruling out all possible kind of outcomes, both negative and positive. And you try to follow your heart, but you also try to protect your future self in terms of making the right decision so that it doesn't lead to a challenging or negative situation. Maybe you're also incredibly hard on yourself. It's like you give others grace and understanding, but when it comes to yourself, you're very harsh with yourself, harsh with your own expectations of yourself. But this has also caused you to go the extra mile or succeed even further than your expectations. And that success doesn't just have to be in the career, but it can be with any area of life. There's something about them observing when you're disinterested in something, whether it be you having a conversation with another person and they're telling you an opinion you didn't ask for. Maybe you're not rude about it, but they can see when you're disinterested, or let's say you don't really want to do something and somebody else asks you to. In situations like that, it's like they know when you're disinterested. They know that you're not necessarily looking for that extra information. You don't really care to know the details. Maybe you're also the type of person that would rather not know if it's going to hurt you, like a piece of information. Like, let's say someone was to say something behind your back, you'd rather not know in that situation. I'm always hearing what I don't know won't hurt me. Maybe you're also like not the type to go through like somebody's phone. That's what it's reminding me of as well. But what I'm also getting here is sometimes you may ignore or kind of sweep your problems under the rug. Or maybe that you may freeze up in certain situations when you don't know what to do. They've observed that you're a very peaceful person, but you can be stressed out easily, especially when there's a lot of like problems or challenging situations arising in your life. Even in moments where you could lose your patience, you try to be patient, whether it be with people or situations that are maybe a little bit more difficult to deal with. It's like you try not to lose your cool, is what I'm hearing. There may also be this hard time letting go of the past, letting go of grudges, what other people have done to you, forgiving, or even forgetting the past, like with a certain person. Like let's say you have a fight with someone or conflict with someone. It's hard to like move past that in the connection with them. Not with this person, but with other people. Unless you've had conflicts with this person. But I just see this energy of like, it's hard to let go of the past. It's hard to let go of grudges, things like that. It's like you remember things. It's like you remember what that person did to you, even if you're cool with them now. Or maybe you're stuck on like situations that happened in the past. And like I said, it's hard to let go. I feel the energy is somebody that's also very sentimental. You don't take shortcuts even when it's tempting to get to your goal wherever you need to be faster. There's something about you being unique but not meant to fit in. You're meant to stand out. That's what they've observed. They've also observed that you can be kind of detached, not the most emotional, more logical, but you do still care. Maybe you need to be mentally stimulated in relationships. You don't like conflict or drama, or even chaos. It's like you require harmony in your connections. I'm feeling Libra energy or just air sign energy in general. Maybe you're good at arguing or debating or showing your side of your perspective, but you don't like arguments. But maybe you can also be petty when somebody wrongs you. There's also this energy of them noticing the way you speak, that you speak from the heart and from this loving place, but you're also really honest. And you're able to confront situations head on, but maybe you take your time thinking about how you're going to do that. So, what do they think of these observations? What do they think to themselves when they have these observations about pile 2? We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Wheel of Fortune, the Knight of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Six of Swords. So this person is showing up as someone that embodies earth energy, whether they're actually an earth sign or they just embody that energy really well of like stability, reliability, being someone that moves slow, steady, consistent, responsible, all those things. Now, because they're showing up in that energy, they really truly admire the fact that you almost just seem to be very like headstrong in a way, able to deal with challenges in a kind of smart way, I want to say. How you're dedicated to what you want, even if it takes a long time to come into fruition. It's like when it comes to your goals, even when you don't see results immediately, you keep going and you try to stay calm and focus on the end result and where you'd like to be, that you don't just stop out of nowhere or give up out of nowhere. They also admire your integrity, I just heard. They think that even if you don't always say it or seem like the most emotional person, like even if you don't always say how much you care about them, they can tell you care. Because like I said, you don't come across as very emotional, maybe more detached. At first, they kind of thought that, oh, does this mean that they would never like care about me or show that they care? They kind of felt insecure about that. But as time has gone on, they can kind of see that they're the exception. They almost feel like you have this soft spot for them in some way. They can see your loyalty, and that's all that matters to them. And how you always stick by their side no matter what. They just see you as somebody that they would want to keep in their lives for a long time. Although they do see some of your shortcomings, like for example, the struggling to let go of the past, or like things like being petty or, holding grudges, there's still something about you working on yourself and kind of like striving to maybe not change completely, but maybe start to change your approach on these things or the way you think about it. So they think that they see you kind of transitioning out of that old energy into like maybe a new energy. And even when something is holding you back, they think that you still like approach the situation where it's not like you're trying to change yourself, but maybe change your mindset on the thing or the way you approach the situation. They think that you already know what to do in situations where you're taking your time deciding, that you should just go for what you want. And they think that you have the freedom to create whatever you want in your life. Whatever you want is yours. You can have it. You have the potential. You have everything you need. All you need to do is start thinking, what do I want? And create it. They just want you to trust your gut feelings about the decisions you're making. To not doubt yourself. They think that you're someone they feel comfortable around and at ease around. because of your calm nature. They also think you're a blessing to have in their life, and that some of the challenges you go through are also blessings in disguises, helping you grow and evolve and become more wise, become more ready to deal with anything that comes your way. They think that life has its ups and downs, but how you deal with that is the most important thing that shifts the energy for you. It's kind of like a domino effect, like how you react to the change or the ups and downs kind of determines where you're going next. Like a chain reaction. But they think that you already know that, which is why you try your best to sort of slow down before you react and try to not lose your cool. Or react maybe harshly to challenging situations or people. They think you're better than me because I would have just reacted harshly and quickly. It's kind of like this energy of you're better than me. I would have just spoke without thinking in that situation. They think that you don't have to be attached to the past. You can accept and welcome change. And it doesn't mean you're abandoning that old version of self. You're just moving with the flow of life. They also think that you guys might not completely be the same or similar, but they do respect you for who you are, and they will never try to change you. They think that you're a stable part of their life, and they have a lot of hope in terms of where this connection's going, the future you may have together, whether this is romantic or platonic. They do see a future with you. They do see you in their future. They've also observed that you're misunderstood by others, but they feel as though if you read between the lines, and if you know pile number 2 and understand pile number 2 in a way already, it's not that easy. I mean, it's not that hard to figure them out, if that makes sense. To figure out who they truly are. So this person thinks they have you figured out in a good way. They think they know you fully. And they love what they see here. They feel very emotionally attached to you. And they want to show that through their generosity and helpfulness, maybe in situations where you're helpless, because I said helplessness by accident. They do think about you a lot. And I think you feel that energetically whenever they're thinking about you. I think you make them happy, whenever you're in their presence. I think they feel like there's depth in your connection even if you are showing up as a little bit detached. Okay, so let's move on to zodiacs and initials now. Okay, so I'm hoping to get your initial or zodiac or this. Let me know if I do. I am hearing the song Tyrant by AIPUS. Let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. I'm hearing even though you're hard on yourself, you don't have to be perfect to be loved by me or to be cared for by me. So we have Sagittarius. We have Cancer. Leo. I'm also hearing you amaze me in the best way. Capricorn. Aquarius. Gemini. I feel there's really good energy at this part of the reading. Maybe you have really good energy and they think that. Or really good vibe. So we have H. A. N. I'm guessing Hannah is a name that's coming through. Well, it's not spelled out completely, but G. O. Go is also coming through here, so maybe they're ready to take action soon. We also have Joe or John. Jonathan. We have A. AJ. V. I know this isn't the exact spelling but it spells out vag here. Maybe for some of you this is a sexual connection. We have A, X, A, D, and M. Maybe they want to DM you or message you soon. So that is what I have for you. I do hope this reading resonated. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching and being here. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, I do post a weekly video on my membership. So thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see you next time. Pile 3, you chose the Rose Quartz Crystal and the Five of Cups card. We're going to be taking a look at what they think to themselves after observing you. So I just want to make a quick announcement before we start with your reading. I do have 10 spaces open for December personal readings, and will be taking place in the first week of December. So if you want to book with me, you can check out all my details in the description box below. My contact details are there. So the first half of the reading is going to be their observations, then the second half, their thoughts. So, Spirit Guides of Pile 3, please tap me into the energy of the person on Pile 3's mind. Please show me, what have they observed about Pile 3? We have the Page of Swords showing up reversed. These observations aren't coming from just observing you or noticing things. It's coming from nosiness, a little bit of maybe internet stalking. This is my internet stalking card. But Page of Swords reversed to me is a card of nosiness, where it's not just curiosity, but it's like we're trying to find the information. So we have the King of Wands, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Nine of Pentacles. So they've observed that you're this go with the flow person. You're not really a type of person that shows up as like too planned in a way where everything has to be planned. You like to go day by day. Maybe you don't think about like everything in your to-do list, but you take it one thing at a time, or you do what you feel like doing the most. Or maybe you don't feel like planning out your whole week ahead. You kind of just want to see what you feel like doing on the day. There's almost this energy of like, I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what I'm going to be feeling tomorrow. You know, somebody makes plans and you don't know if you're going to be feeling ready for those plans that day. So you're like, oh, I'll see how I feel, you know. I'm kind of picking up on that energy. I also see somebody that leaves people on red, or kind of like is like someone that is hard to get a hold of, like through messages or texts. Maybe you take really long to respond. Maybe that's where the nosiness comes from. Like when they can't get a hold of you or can't have access to you in the moment. They've observed that you're a deep person with a lot of wisdom, and that wisdom has probably come from experiences that were not the best. You're a great communicator, very logical, but you also take emotions into consideration. There's both logical and emotional intelligence here. There may be commitment issues or a fear of commitment. Something about like following the moon phases or something like that. Maybe you're very spiritual. They also observe what you like or dislike from them. So I see them saying something to you, intently observing your reaction by your facial features. Your facial expressions, your body language, like just your overall reaction. They say something you don't like and maybe you react not the best way, and then they kind of take note of that. Okay, Pile 3 doesn't like it when I say this or do this, or doesn't like people like this. They say something good and your reaction's good, and it's like, okay, Pile 3 likes this and this and this, and people like this. That's the kind of energy I see here. Not only that, when they give you something, like let's say they give you a gift, they're observing your reaction to see if you truly like the gift or if you're just thanking them and appreciative of it but not really liking the gift. They observe everything. It's like they observe what you like, dislike, so that when they do get you a gift, they can be thoughtful about it. They also try to observe what your type is if this is romantic, based on maybe previous people you've dated or what you kind of like. Maybe they observe what you compliment towards them so that they know like what your type is or what you like in a man or woman. They also observe your turn-ons and turn-offs. I'm not sure what those are, but that's just the energy I see. That doesn't just have to be in dating. Even if you're not dating this person, let's say you're friends with this person, maybe they know your turn-ons and turn-offs from what you've told them about your dating history. You know what I mean? So it doesn't always have to be in a romantic way, but that is what I see. They've also observed that you like your alone time, that you're possibly more introverted, that you need your alone time to recharge, especially after hanging out with a lot of people, that maybe you don't like large crowds. And maybe for you, you feel like it's hard to click or relate with people these days because I feel like you've grown so much. You've worked on yourself so much to the point where it's become a lonely road. You feel like you don't relate to a lot of people these days. Maybe you're also so intelligent that sometimes you feel like people don't fully get you. I'm seeing this energy of you being so amazing and so great, but then feeling like you almost have to make yourself small to be approved by others, because it's like you've almost grown so much that maybe you've outgrown a lot of people you meet in your daily life, you know what I mean? And it kind of just feels like maybe it threatens them or something. Not this person, but other people, of course. Maybe some of you have also had a lot of achievements, or you've celebrated like having a wish come true of some kind. Because the Six of Wands is at the back of the deck and the Three of Cups and Nine of Cups is behind that. So that to me represents celebrating a wish come true. And with the Five of Swords behind that, maybe you feel like a lot of people would envy you for that. Or maybe you have experienced that where it's like you can't share the things you're happy about, your good news, the things you're celebrating because you don't know what other people's intentions are. Or if they're going to send you the evil eye or whatever, or if they're even going to be happy for you. So maybe that's the loneliness I spoke about, where it's not that you're lonely, it's not that you don't have people around you, but it's the loneliness of doing well and feeling like you don't know who's going to be happy for you kind of energy. Maybe even feeling guilty for being happy because maybe there's certain people around you that are miserable and it's like you feel like you can't tell them your good news because they're going through heartbreak. They've noticed that you're a very mindful person. You're always like aware of and considerate of like other people's emotions, which is why they've kind of like observed that you're emotionally intelligent. They've also observed that you're very giving and generous, but you also won't allow yourself to be used. Like you have your limits when it comes to giving. They've noticed your independence, that you've done all of this on your own. Like whatever you've achieved or whatever goals you've met, you've done it on your own. Sure, maybe some people helped you here and there, but it was all you. I see a graduation in my mind's eye, so maybe that could be like from studying or getting a job or something. If this is romantic, since she is wearing a veil here, maybe they have observed like your taste in jewelry. If this is a situation where it's like you've been with this person for a long time and you suspect that they are thinking of like proposing. I'm not saying they are going to propose. I'm not saying this message is for everybody, but you'll know if this message is for you. It's kind of like they've observed what kind of rings you like, whether it's gold, silver, maybe they went and asked your friends. Situations like that is what I'm seeing. And maybe they're kind of like being secretive and hiding the fact that they were nosing around about like your likes and dislikes when it comes to like rings and stuff like that. And if it's not that serious, this connection, if it's romantic, then maybe it could be like as simple as like, oh, I'm trying to plan a date and I'm trying to figure out what you like through maybe your friends. Oh, should I take them here or here? Or maybe I'm trying to buy you a gift and I don't know what you would exactly like, so I got and ask other people and I'm kind of secretive about it. That's the energy I see for a lot of you. It doesn't even have to be romantic, but it can even be just like, getting you a gift and trying to figure out what you like. They kind of have observed that you've been disappointed many times, but you're not surprised by it. You see it coming. But maybe at one point you had to get yourself out of a victim mentality, and as much as it hurt, like being in those situations, you had to kind of like remove yourself from those situations and kind of craft a new beginning for you and not wait for it to happen, while taking the wisdom and lessons from what previously happened. So what do they actually think of these observations? What do they think to themselves after observing these things about pile 3? I'm hearing you're always linked to me. I'm hearing, like, with that, me and you, always forever, that song. So, Knight of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, 3 of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. Let's get one more card, because for all piles, there was like 5 cards for the thoughts. 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so in terms of the envy and jealousy and other people thinking they're threatened by you, there's something about this person thinking when you were putting in the work and trying to make it happen for yourself with whatever area of life this is that you've had good news from, or where you've experienced a wish come true. Other people may support, maybe even clap. Maybe they might ignore you while you're putting in the work. But once you actually achieve something, or things start to change or come into fruition, it's kind of like then their hidden feelings come to the surface. Not those persons, but other people's, where it becomes very apparent of who's supporting you and who's not. Like, someone might not even support you while you're busy putting in the work towards whatever you're working towards, but maybe when you achieve something, they clap for you, and then you know that, okay, maybe they are supportive. Whether they believed in you or not at the start, you can kind of see at the end they are supportive of your wins. But maybe somebody that never supported you from the start outright said that and then tries to celebrate you at the end. You can see that they're maybe opportunistic, or they want to get something out of it. Or let's say someone kind of just acts as though they don't notice your wins. Tries to put you down for it or whatever, then you can see how they truly feel about it. Their hidden feelings that they try to like hold in from their behavior. So this person thinks that you don't necessarily have to show it off to the whole world when you receive good news, but you don't also have to hide it. I know that like in a lot of my readings, when I see like somebody getting good news and I see envy, I always say to keep it to yourself. This person has like a very different perspective where they're like, you don't need to hide it because their reaction will tell you everything about them. That will tell you if they're your real friend or not, if they really support you or not, if they really want the best for you or not. And maybe when you go through good things in life or you receive good things or wishes come true, I guess people show their true colors and thank them for showing their true colors. That's what they're thinking, this person. They're thinking that you may have gone through heartbreaking situations, but you're learning to love again. You're learning to open up your heart again and love despite what may happen. Like, regardless of if you get hurt or not, of course, they're not like having bad intentions. They think you're kind of just like putting your heart out there again, like putting your heart on the line. That even though you've been hurt, you can love again. They kind of think that your introvertedness or you just like spending time alone is kind of like a coping mechanism so that you don't get too attached to people, so that you don't get hurt. They also think that you're very caring and it shows through the way you kind of give to people, your generosity. But the Six of Pentacles also tells me that they're thinking of being generous with you, and maybe they're using these observations to do exactly that. Like I said, let's say they're thinking about buying you a gift. That could be the case. Or planning some kind of surprise for you. Like maybe they're taking into consideration what I said about what they've observed. I don't know what that song is called by Justin Bieber, but I think it's his new album, if I'm not mistaken. And there's like a specific song that has a line that goes, "Life is worth living." Is it Justin Bieber? It sounds like his voice in my head. So I guess there's just something about you finding like reasons to live, reasons to be excited, not in like such a, I don't mean this in like a drab emotional way of like somebody almost like not wanting to live, but I mean this in the way of like you're just finding reasons to be excited again. You're finding things to look forward to. Maybe you're making certain changes in your life that are bringing excitement your way. Where every time you see something new come in, like some kind of change come in, it excites you more to keep going. They think that things are changing for you for the better. Like life is starting to pay off, you know. The hard work you've put in is starting to pay off and starting to come back to you. I think this person is truly supportive of you having everything you wish for in life. And they do want the best for you. That's what I see in their thoughts. I see them wanting you to just be happy, to have all your wishes come through, and to feel like at the end of your life, like let's say one day when you're old, you don't have regrets. You feel like fulfilled with your life, you know? So I also see that they don't always think what they've observed is part of your personality unless they see a consistent pattern of it. So let's say you react one way one day, and the next day you react another completely different way to the same exact situation. They know that that doesn't determine your personality. That was just one moment where you acted that way. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like they take into consideration things you've done over and over again before they make a conclusion of like, oh, pile 3 is like this in their personality. They kind of think that like everything that you have right now is meant for you. Like it's not meant for anybody else and nobody can steal that. If you've experienced like destiny swappers, people trying to do that, like nobody can take your destiny away from you, your good luck, your blessings, it's yours. They might not think it in that exact way, but that energy's coming through. Of like, no one can take what's yours. And even if you miss a moment, nothing can take away what's yours. Like, if it's meant to be for you, nothing can take away from that. Nothing can sabotage that either. They want you to kind of like be proud of yourself for where you're at the moment and not feel the need to like make yourself smaller to not threaten other people, to not feel like you can't like be proud of yourself or proud of what you have right now. It doesn't mean that you're bragging or that you think you're better than others. It just means you're happy with where you're at. And anybody that thinks otherwise shouldn't be around you. That's what they're thinking. It seems like they're focused very much on that in their thoughts, and what they can do for you in the future. Like, I just see this person always like planning in their head what they can do for you that's thoughtful or cute or sweet, in terms of their generosity, whether it's buying you a gift or whatever. So that is all I have for this section of the reading. Let's move on to zodiacs and initials now. So spirit guides of pile 3, give me some zodiacs for them and the person on their mind. Let me know how this has resonated for you so far in the comments below. I'm also hearing that song Live Fast, Die Fast, Bad Girls, Do It Well, something like that. So maybe there's like this energy of like you just living your life saying, F it, let me do this thing because like you only live once. Maybe they've observed that about you. We have the Pisces sign. We have Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius, Cancer. They want you to know that they will never leave or give up on you or your connection, no matter what happens. Even if there's difficulties that arise in the future, they're not going to leave at the first sign of difficulty. They're going to stick by your side. That's what they want you to know. Cancer, Leo, Capricorn. We have O, B, L, J, K. There could be a lot of inside jokes between you and this person. Maybe they observe your sense of humor. X, U, N. They also observe like little sayings you use. P, that nobody else uses. A, M. We have the name Pam here. I, Z. They also have observed your relationship with your mother, like that dynamic. A, I. They also observe like your emotional responses to things like what makes you sad, what makes you angry, what makes you happy. I did mention that, but I'm seeing it again. And they kind of like observe your energy levels at each moment of the day, like whether it's in the morning, afternoon, night. They've also observed your intelligence. So Q, IQ, G, and C. So with GC, I heard a ringing in my ear. So maybe there's like a group chat without you, but this is not bad. This is not like anybody talking about you or discussing things behind your back. This is like, let's say somebody's trying to plan a birthday surprise and they have a group chat without you. That's what it's reminding me of. Okay, so that is where I'm going to leave your reading. I do hope this reading resonated with you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching and being here. If you like my readings and you want to see more exclusive content of mine, you can check out my membership where I post weekly. So yeah, thanks for being here and I can't wait to see you next time.